Like I said, most of my guitars are on tour, and a lot of my really good, like, collectors, not really collectors, but nicer guitars are up in Iowa. I like to keep them up there in case we end up recording, and I never know where we're going to record at. So these are all, I don't know, kind of random guitars. Like, I don't even, here's one that Corey broke for me. This is, okay, Fender made me 2 custom shop guitars, like before I had my signature model or anything, just to kind of see where I'd be going with it. Yeah, see the neck's not even on this one anymore. And they have these amazing fucking custom shop necks on them. And at the end of the shows with these Fenders, I used to take them and just kind of let them flop down like that, because they're straight. They don't have the headstock pitched back, so you're not going to break it or anything. And I did that, and Corey saw me do it. I've been doing it forever. And he decided to take his fucking mic stand and just start fucking Hassan chopping it. And I'm like, I turn around and look, and I see him doing this, and I'm like, motherfucker, what are you doing? You know? So this is all that's left of it. Yeah, just put that anywhere. Here we go. Here's a guitar. Ooh, I forgot about this guitar. This is a guitar that was in the Sulphur video. And it was before my signature Strat came out, but I wanted to use my signature Strat in it, but they didn't have one yet to give to me. So they took a Billy Corgan Strat and made it look like my Strat, sort of. I mean, I changed the pick guard since then, but in the video it's got 2 humbuckers in it. And when they sent it to me, they crossed out the Billy Corgan signature and they wrote Jim Root on it. Pretty cool guitar. This guitar sounds really good too. Where to? There's a shop in Des Moines called Last Chance that gets a lot of vintage stuff in, and I got a 76 SG from them. Pretty cool 76er. That's a PRS case, right? Feels like one.
I saw it.
There's a dead body in there. This is, I don't even know what this is. PRS came to one of our shows with Stone Sour, and they brought 3 guitars to me. But they brought me 3 guitars and just said, like, here, just take them. You can have them. And this is like way after. I mean, I already had my signature model Fender out and everything, and this is one of them. And PRS makes really, really nice guitars, and it's just too beautiful to get rid of, and it might sound really good in the studio, so I've kind of been hanging on to it. This is the last PRS that PRS built for me. And I essentially wanted a guitar with my signature specs, but I wanted a gold top Les Paul version of it. So they built me a gold top custom 24 with my wasn't my signature, it was just my specs that I used at the time. Pretty cool guitar. Yeah, 3-way switch, 1 volume, just like all the PRSs I used back in the Iowa days, you know. And up in Iowa, I have a red one that's from those days, and I have 1 black one left, but like I said, all that shit's up in Iowa. This thing's a tank though, man, feel that thing. But the coolest thing about the PRSs, when I was getting those custom made for me, is this part right here. Is Paul Reed actually writes custom built for him, puts your name on the back of it. That's pretty fucking cool. Class act. Very nice. Oh, I see something with a 4 on it. This must be Slipknot guitars. Everything's... We're playing Jenga today. Fuck it. This says 69 Relic Strat with Floyd. Oh, I know what this is. This is just a guitar that I bought from Wild West Guitars. 69 custom shop Relic with a Floyd in it. And the pickups that came in it sounded really thin and gnarly, so I just threw EMGs in it, 2 SAs and an 81. Pretty cool guitar. Needs another fret though. Looks like we robbed it for some parts. One of my first ever flatheads. And obviously it's in a state of disrepair. We must have robbed the pickup ring off of it for another guitar at one point. But this is whole first Stone Sour album cycle. It's probably one that I sent back and had them put a pickup in the front and repaint. There's another one that I had them do that with. It's got 2 volume knobs and a 3-way selector on it. Wow. Yeah, I need to have Martin go through these things, fix them up. It's got some serious stress fractures in it though. Like that is seriously jacked up. I must have thrown it at somebody. If I ever do like a special run of a guitar, it'll be based off of this one, but with a different body. This was like the first like real full-on custom that Fender made, where I just gave them every spec that I wanted. And it's essentially a flathead Showmaster, but it's got a bolt-on neck, and it's got 24 frets. But it's basically my Strat signature model specs, but it's in a dinky body with 24 frets. And they cut this out for me and all that shit, because I kind of wanted like a shredder Fender, you know. And it does, man. This guitar sets up great. Really cool guitar. So cool, I'm going to leave it out and we're going to go through it. And I'll probably take it to Iowa with me. The only thing that sucks is I wish this neck was on one of my bodies from my Strats, you know. Not a huge fan of the dinky bodies, you know. Yep, here's the one. This is the very first one that they ever sent me. Straight up flathead model. This is the one that was Battleship Gray, and I sent it back to them and asked them to put a neck pickup in it. So there's just 2 volume knobs and a 3-way selector, little toggle switch, so I can cut volume and do the trick if I want. But see, it doesn't have the body cut out for it or anything. And they actually shaved the neck down to get rid of that drastic V shape on it. The only problem is now the skunk stripe's starting to fucking pop out of it in the back. Because I fuck with shit. Whoops. I think I have the, before I forget, video guitar here too. If my guess is right, that's maybe this one. This is one that I toured with on the Subliminal Versus cycle, Charvel San Dimas, one of the new USA ones. Oh, here's a cool guitar. Speaking of Charvels, pretty soon it's going to be like, hey, I'm back here. This is a Wayne Charvel. Let's put that anywhere too. I had Wayne build me this guitar. Fucking ash. Natural wood, nitrocellulose, black flames. Fucking like true hand-built guitar. Like every bit of this guitar, hand-built. And it really feels that way when you play it. It's like a really cool thing. And Martin put black strings on it because he thought it would look cool with all the wood and the black hardware and everything. That's just a regular USA model. Telly. Know what's in here. Another flathead. I guess I have more of these than I thought I had. Do.
I just see them all chipping.
Yeah. I'm just going to shorten that stack for a minute. (1966) Jazzmaster. Doesn't have the tagger on it though. Spinal Tap reference. Very cool guitar, but you can still see, like whoever owned it before me, you can see the Shoreline gold underneath it to give it that sparkle. It's got the binding, everything. Killer fucking guitar. Definitely played a lot around that neighborhood.
Yeah, where'd you find it?
Trent, the guy that owns Pro Music up in Iowa, had it. And it had just come in, and he had taken it apart and estimated the value on it, appraised it for the guy, and I was like, well, I want to sell it. So I think I got it for like $2,300 or something. Yeah. I don't know what it's worth now. I mean, I don't really care, but because I'll keep it forever, you know.
Yeah.
It's got the tremolo and everything. Speaking of old cool guitars, the old 69 SG Special. '81 Silverburst.
Badass.
Look how green it is.
But that's what's fucking awesome, dude. That thing is aging awesomely.
It's like in really good shape too. Should see if Hetfield wants to buy it.
Where'd you find that one?
Guitar show in Nashville. Yep. I went into the Guitar Center there, and they asked me what I was looking for, and I said I'd like to find a 76 Explorer to match that 76 SG, or anything 71, Fender or Gibson, or any Silverburst Gibsons. And no shit, he called me back like later on that fucking night. There was a guitar show in Nashville, South Nashville. They have an '81 Silverburst that's like in pretty near mint condition. So I took like 8 guitars and gave them to Guitar Center to sell, just for that one guitar. Yeah, 59 ES 330.
Dude, wow.
Yeah,
Where'd you find that one?
at a pawn shop in Des Moines. At a fucking pawn shop, and I did the same thing. I took like fucking 8 guitars in there and traded them towards it because they wanted like $3,900 or something for it. And then I took it to the Lutherie shop and had, you know, like it had a dot missing. The gumdrop tuners were all rotted out on it. But the coolest part about this guitar is the dude that played it had passed away. But there's a picture of him playing it with his band in like the, I don't know, mid-60s or something. But it's like a one-owner guitar. I'm the second dude to own it. So I'm gonna always keep this picture with the guitar, you know. I wish I had the actual real picture to be with it, you know. I think it's kind of cool to keep that stuff together, you know. But this guitar is pretty amazing, and it's in a good place. The checking on it's perfect, you know. Noisy as hell, but it sounds good. I think that's the oldest guitar I own, is that. When I was endorsed by Jackson way back when. Well, there's a Les Paul hiding back there. They just they sent me this guitar as like a present, which I thought was really cool, but it's nothing that I would have ordered. But it's the Kelly. Oh, hey. Hi. It's the Black Kelly that I used to play on the Iowa tour. Well, I just realized it's got the root inlay. I had my very first Jackson that they built for me had the same thing. I didn't realize this, but this guitar was designed after the headstock. Look at these. It's the headstock pointing in all different directions. It's very metal and pointy. When we were in Nashville recording, I went and bought a bunch of guitars from the custom shop. Inside here is a Silverburst Firebird 5, and I've never opened the box. So, whatever, 4.5 years ago or whatever, when I bought it, 4 years ago. And it's still in there. I can't bring myself to open the box. Should I open it? Maybe if we do a 2. You know what I mean? Because it's been this long. If I keep it in the box for like, say, 10 years, who in the world has found a brand new, like, vintage Gibson still in the box? I know that's getting a little bit comic book nerd on it, but it's an original Han Solo Millennium Falcon toy still new in box. It's fucking awesome. I think we're going to save this. Because now it's like a thing. If I just leave it here and don't think about it. But right now I'm like, This is a really, really cool guitar. Huh? What's that say? Oh, Pete fucking Townsend. One of these days I'm going to find him and see if I can get him to actually sign the guitar. Get all fanboy with it. Oh, just like his. You want to fill a tank? Fill that fucking thing. Heaviest guitar on earth. Thing's got to weigh 45 pounds. Oh, it's a reversed Silverburst. 58. Custom shop V. Cool guitar, but weird looking. Like not really the same effect, you know what I mean? It's like something Ace Frehley might have played, you know? Straight up 58 reissue. Of a Carina. If I could ever find a real one and be able to afford it. You know what I mean? The only thing I don't like about them is they got big fat baseball necks on them, baseball bat necks on them. It's like, why don't you do them like the Slim Taper 60s ones? Well, because it's a 50s guitar, Jim. That's why we don't do them that way. 67 custom shop reissue. This guitar sounds really good. With the Maestro tremolo. Really cool guitar.
Where'd you find that?
It's got that long V. I actually bought this one on eBay. Because I've never seen one of the custom shop 67 reissues. I can never find one, and I just happened to one popped up on eBay, so I was like, yoink, mine. Still relatively in decent tune for sitting up here for probably not been touched for at least 2 years. That's why I like to keep all the guitars in the cases, you know. I have a few guitars that I leave out, and you know, it's always, I always thought, oh, I'd want to hang them on the walls, you know what I mean, type of thing. But you leave them out, and they fucking, the necks get all fucking crazy, and they get way out of tune and shit. Better to just leave it in the case. Eventually, I'm going to build a rack system for back in here in this corner, so I can stack them all up and have them on shelves, so I don't have to go through all this shit to get to a guitar, you know. But you got to be home to do shit like that, and that is something that I am not a lot. Put your church clothes on, because it's the Holy V. Which actually made it to the record, because I can see a note from Nick on it. Apparently when we were recording Audio Secrecy, I must have used this to record something. Let's see what his note says. Nick says the Holy V is dry, crunch, good top, solid. And it's 24 frets too. So you can get all shreddy McShredderson on it. The first time we went to Japan, I bought a guitar. And it was a Jackson Stars. And that was used on Slipknot in the early days. And I remember the headstock got fucked up, so I sent it back to the factory and they repainted it. So it actually just says Jackson on it now. Yeah. Beat to hell. Had them sand the finish off the back of the neck too. Weird. But they couldn't call the guitar a Jackson in Japan for licensing reasons. So it was a Jackson Stars. This is the guitar I played on Leno with Stone Sour. Through glass, maybe? I can't remember. Custom shop gold Strat. 50th anniversary, but I think a 56 reissue, maybe. If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
it'd be my white Telly, the main one that we used for the most of the video shoot. The first prototype signature that they sent me. Between the way it plays and the way it sounds, the sonics of that guitar. Like, since I got that guitar, every producer makes they're like, this is a guitar you got to play. This guitar sounds awesome. It's made every record since I got it. And it's like beat every other guitar, like some of these fucking $6,000 whatever fucking custom shop guitars, that guitar. For whatever reason. I mean, you heard it when you were engineering me. You know, as soon as I grabbed a different guitar, it was like, whoa, that's a drastic difference. You know what I mean? There's something special about that guitar. I don't know what it is. It's probably all the love that was put into it at the Fender factory.